What's going on, you fizzy drinking philodendrons?
You fucking motherfucker.
He's drinking fizzy water.
With a little bit of alcohol added.
A little bit of alcohol added.
Stop it.
You have to drink it with your pinky out. Bing! Welcome to the show, Grunt Speak, not so.
Live! It's pre-recorded.
Pre-recorded. We're going to have some fun today because one of our good fans here, fan of the show, goes by Iron Riddle. Loves to send us stories from his life. He's like the backstage chief kick-a-bitch of the Slapahoe Nation, who loves to share his stories during streams. Iron Riddle likes to send us these at all times of the week. It's to the point where I actually have a folder in my email dedicated to these stories, and he calls them Red Suppositories.
Yeah, and listen, if you guys have any red pill stories, send them in. We'll read them on the air.
All these tricks, all of these manipulation tactics that modern women use to pull your strings, they're not unique. They learned them from somewhere.
Yep.
And that's why hearing these stories, even if they're just, little amusing things, they can be very helpful, especially if you're on the younger side and you haven't really hit the dating market yet. And the second suppository we have for today really hits that note. You're going to like it. But first and foremost, we're going to go back to California Stan for this particular tale. It's the tale of a man who meets a 10, who rapidly starts falling down the list like a ball of dog dookie down a muddy slope, gathering sticks and maggots and fungus all along the way. Yeah. There have been times when I was a red-pilled alpha male. Too bad I didn't stay in that frame all the time. Blue Pill Bill always seemed to come back home to roost in my thinking meat. I was TAD/TDY, which means
Temporary duty, or he's away at school, or he got sent to another duty station to do a task.
Yeah. In California Stan, when I was an E4. I walked into a restaurant with a small group of jarheads when I made eye contact with a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, wet dream. Our eyes locked, and I did not look away. I walked past her and over to the restrooms, ignoring the guy that was sitting in front of her. I stood so that she could see me, but he couldn't. I didn't take my eyes off her until she excused herself and came back to where I was standing while I continued to stay out of sight of her date. I'm 6'2", by the way, automatically placing him in the top 14%.
Well, actually, it's 6 feet is 14 or 15%. 6'2" goes into the 4 or 5 or 6%.
Yeah, you're in the single-digit range with that.
Yeah.
Her exposed flat abs looked amazing as the C-sized dials and pegs bounced slightly as she walked toward me. Now, when you're before the age of 34, that's as good as a professional hypnotist dangling the gold watch in front of your face.
It is. It is. Literally, they walk around with something like that. They are a snake charmer for your penis.
Exactly.
They just walk by. That's exactly what happens.
It comes up and out of the basket.
Yeah.
Ready to bite and spit its venom, if you know what I mean.
Spilled it. Oh, God.
She was about 5'8", 130 pounds, very pretty.
Definitely in the zone.
Yep. I'm thinking she's a 10. I said, "Hi, what's your name?" "Elena," she said in the sexiest accent I think I've ever heard. She's probably Mexican, South American.
Yeah,
with a name like Elena.
I'm thinking Argentina, but I could be wrong.
Argentina is preferable. Yeah, she's a 10. Told her my name and then asked her if that was her boyfriend. She said definitively no. I asked, "Does he know that?" That's the correct question to ask.
Yeah.
She said, "Yes, he does. We had a talk."
You serious?
I found out later that they were from New York City and on vacation together and that he paid for the whole trip. For once, someone else was the super simp.
The Simstitute.
The Simstitutelage. I should have loaned him my cape and tidy whities because I wasn't currently using them.
Yeah.
Oh, and when you're young, you usually use a dish towel. And then I told her that he wants her to be his girlfriend. And that is the reason they are out together, and that he is hoping they will be a couple, and soon. She insisted that was not the case, and that they were just friends.
Listen, you can't be friends with women, especially hot women.
No. They will suck you dry, and not in a good way.
Well, and they'll string you along, and they'll turn you into a substitute.
Yep.
And that is the reverse of a prostitute.
Yep.
Meaning you're selling out cash, but you get no sex.
And then women like this, what happens is they turn 30, and that power dynamic shifts. And then they start getting treated how they treated men for the previous 15 years, and all of a sudden, it's not fair.
The sad part is this. A lot of these girls are walking across the stage in high school with 1,000 dicks stare already.
Yep.
So they're literally stepping out into the world to be strong and independent, and they've literally crashed their value to like almost nothing.
Yeah. An 18-year-old woman should be at the height of her market value.
Yeah.
But if you're coming out of high school with a double-digit body count, you're already down here.
Let's pretend that's not true.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day, a man with the amount of effort he would put into a woman that's been unsoiled,
Yep.
his full value, and that's 50 years of labor and provisioning and protection.
Mm-hmm.
And for each rooster, you cut that in half. And statistically speaking, I cut it off around 4 or 5. Because once they go over 4 or 5, their chances of divorce go through the roof.
Oh, yeah. And if they're college educated,
Add
they file
another
for
10%.
divorce. Yeah, you file for divorce 90% of the time when women are college educated. But let's jump right back in here and see what else is about to happen. Because this is a dude who clearly knows the game, and he's not getting ready to play it with this woman. She insisted this was not the case, and they were just friends. Okay, I did say that. All right. I said, well, if that's true, then go tell him that you're coming with me.
Ooh.
For the rest of the night, and we'll see him in the morning.
I mean,
This ought to be good.
This is the kind of stuff that gets people shot.
Yes, it is. Well, I mean, if the guy with her is a substitute, then he's just going to storm off. In this situation, he's not going to hold frame. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, you never know.
But I totally know. She went to do as I told her. And I went out to wait in the parking lot. After a few minutes, he stormed out of the restaurant, almost breaking the door on the way out, got in his rental car, and sped away, burning rubber the whole way. She then came out looking a little sad. She looked me in the eyes and then down at her feet. Yeah, you were right. Well, yeah.
We know the deal.
Shocker. It was a great night for me.
Yeah.
And a big, giant red suppository for the other guy.
Where?
By the time I get her back to my room, I believe she had degraded to about a 4.5. She was still physically hot, sexy, beautiful, but she knew that she was in spades, and we all know what women like that are like.
Yeah. She's obviously a 304.
Yes.
That's 304 behavior right there.
Well, because this is another one of those instances of the brain housing disconnect that modern women have. They think that what they find attractive has to be attractive for men. Wrong! This kind of behavior, I know I'm hot shit, that's cocky, it's arrogant, it turns us off. It turns women on, it turns us off. We don't like that.
Now, I've seen a situation like this unfold in Seattle.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I used to hang out there a lot when I was on active duty. And we're hanging out in the bar. There's a couple, one 5 foot, the woman's 5'8", the man is about her same height.
Yeah.
So their dude comes in there, starts pushing the smaller guy around, and the guy goes out to his car, comes back with this little 380, shoots the dude in the leg.
Whoa.
He's like, oh yeah, motherfucker.
That escalated quickly.
And that dude went to the ground, and I'm literally I'm getting behind this big post, and I'm getting shot. Going, well, you fuck with the dude's dude. I don't. It might have been his wife. I don't know. But somebody got shot, and I'm sure that dude went to jail for at least 3 years.
Very possible. Because that's assault with a deadly weapon, possible attempted murder charge.
Yeah, but you don't know what you're walking into when you start messing with other dudes' women, man.
Show some damned respect.
He must have sized this up accurately and quickly in a way that he didn't.
Well, most guys aren't going to do anything, so if he bets on the odds, he'll be fine. But there's that one needle in the haystack guy that's literally going to go chainsaw massacre on your ass.
Yep.
You don't need that.
Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Don't teach a man to fish and you feed yourself. He's a grown man. Fishing's not that hard.
She was an entitled Disney princess with an attitude to boot. Ugh. My desire to be with her was waning. Definitely not long-term relationship possibility, and that's a damn shame.
Well,
that's common. That's typical.
I mean, it kind of reminds me of the Icelandic chick.
Oh, the 10?
The 10 that I banged, and then I flew away in an airplane.
Bye!
I never saw her again.
That's how you do it, gentlemen. Today, she would be nearly 60 and has likely hit the wall by now. Well,
likely? Are you out of your mind?
She smashed through it and took out 2 or 3 adjacent ones on her way through. If her attitude has not changed, she's likely angry, single, wondering where all the good men are. I'll give her a hint. They're all burning rubber and rental cars away from her.
Stop! Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square. Stop!
And listen, that dude she just jilted.
Yep.
A man can only sustain so many of those before he basically wakes up.
Oh, yeah. And then once that happens, then they become the a-hole that gets all the poon, and then he realizes, oh, I was lied to. This is the behavior that actually gets rewarded. And then these women hit their 30. Yeah, why are all men such a-holes? Because women like you would only bang dudes who acted like that.
Yep, you got to change your tune to get the poon.
And if you don't like that behavior, ladies, stop rewarding it with said poon.
What are you going to do?
I'm just saying. And then we have another one here. This one's great. This is about Iron Riddle's 15-year-old son.
Okay.
This really illustrates exactly why it is so important to train these young men while they're still young, before they really get into the meat and potatoes of the dating market.
Yeah, and this one actually has a little bit of Recon the Mother in it.
Yes, it does. Very, very good story. Lots of important messages. Let's check it out. RP content is very important in my life because I'm 51 and I have 45 years of deprogramming to do. I enjoy sharing red pill content to make men's lives better, and I'm working to do my part. I've been teaching my son as much RP material as I can to the level I wish I had had when I was his age, and so far he is way better off than I was when I was his age.
And that's exactly what we're doing here.
Damn right. A few years ago, when he was 15, he asked me to take him to the amusement park to go on a date with his girlfriend. The two of them had been an item at school for a few months, but had never been out. I drove him to the appointed time and place and made sure he connected with his date. His date was a cute little 6.5, and the mother walks up and introduces herself. Mom was a good 5, little overconfident for meeting a perfect stranger, a.k.a. loud.
So she's a Karen.
Don't you laugh at me. My money back. Yes, you are.
All of us have that story of being out to eat somewhere, and then you hear every word of somebody else's conversation. You look over, like, oh, it's Janiqua. Hey, do you mind keeping it down? Motherfucker! Okay, fine.
Here we go.
I talk as loud as I want. Well, that's fine, but now I know you have genital warts. Saying, like, no one here needed to know that.
Yep.
You could have kept it folded into the burrito, but no. Dumb bitch. After a little chit-chat, she looks over her shoulder, takes a few steps away from me to the car she got out of, and starts barking orders at her husband. Move the car.
Henpecked.
Yes.
Move the car. Get out of the way. Move over here. What are you, stupid?
He apologetically complied, asking in his simp tone, "Is this okay, sweetie?" I felt sad for him because that was me not too long ago. We've all been there.
Yeah, gentlemen, if you're stuck in that hell, you need to get yourself out of it.
And do it in a hurry. Because trust me, it's nowhere you want to set up camp. I looked at my son with a head gesture and a nod to see if he noticed this behavior, and he nodded back to say, yep,
That's
I
like
got
one
it.
of the unspoken things men do. They do the...
You do the testosterone caveman grunt. It's how men say hi to each other as well.
I know, because I remember...
We don't say, hey, man, how you doing? We're walking by.
There was... I was living in New York, and I went next door to my buddy's house.
Yeah.
And his little baby grandson was maybe 3. I come walking in, he's messing around with these blocks, and we make eye contact, and I just go. And he just looks at me and goes... And like his wife was sitting right there. She starts hysterically laughing. And I look at her, I'm like, what?
It's that caveman element. We've never gotten away from it. I don't think we ever will.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? If it wasn't for that caveman element, women wouldn't love us as much.
Yeah, I know.
But also, it's part of that caveman element that allows them to successfully manipulate us for so long.
Yeah.
Oh, penis, want to go over there. Lead us around like a little choke collar.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
Until 34.
Yeah, it's terrible. Terrible. But hey, the sooner you learn to get over it, or at least recognize the symptoms, you can cure yourself.
This is our handbook. I wrote the whole thing myself.
He nodded back to say, yep, I got it. I've taught him to always watch how both parents treat each other, especially the mother. You don't want to get involved with a girl whose parents are abusive or toxic to each other. As I left, he called me only an hour later to come pick him up.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And that is, like, the parents being abusive and toxic to each other, that is one of the key elements of reconning the mother.
Yes, it is.
Because, as I've said before, we are all screwed up funhouse mirrors of our parents' relationship. Most of us will recreate it in some weird hybrid mutated form. And if you don't recognize that your parents are screwy, you're going to be screwy.
Mm-hmm.
On the ride home, he tells me that once they got inside the park, his girlfriend met up with another girl who
Just happened to be there.
Of course.
immediately at this point he felt like the third wheel and that he was competing for his girlfriend's attention. They, not him, decided to go get some lunch, and they expected him to pay for it.
That is so goddamn disrespectful.
We've seen stories that wind up on the news about shit like this. Wasn't there a guy, I think it was in Japan or something, this woman decided to invite her entire family out on a date and expect him to pay? And he's like, no, I'm out of here. Peace.
Yeah.
And she tried to turn the internet against him. Like, no, it's not going to work.
Well, I mean, the thing is women use blame, shame, and guilt to control us.
Yep.
So the more we become shameless, guiltless, the less we can be manipulated.
Exactly. Why do you think they're so eager to push all of this CRT bullshit to younger children before they've reached the age of questioning?
Yep.
Because men like us are out there trying to teach younger kids to avoid this crap. So they're trying to teach them younger and younger so they don't even question it, and they just accept the blame and shame when it arrives.
Yes.
Because they've been taught that their identity is toxic and disgusting.
Well, they're feminizing men.
Exactly.
So,
that's a funny thing. If masculinity is so toxic, why do women idolize it so much?
Yeah, I know.
Why do they act so masculine while trying to feminize men? If masculinity is so toxic,
yeah, you figure they want to move away from it.
You would think. But hey, what do I know? I'm just asking questions. When he refused to pay for lunch, they did their best to shame him with all the traditional shaming phrases.
A real man would do that.
Yeah. He told his girlfriend, I didn't agree to this. You and I were supposed to be on a date together, and then you drag her along?
I'm out.
Both of them did not let up, trying to manipulate him, to which he said, we're done. He walked away, called me on his phone, and as he shook the dust from his heels.
Yep.
That's a dude who's going to be able to write his own ticket.
And I can guarantee you that woman that's doing this to him is not going to have a good outcome.
No. Oh, well, hopefully she learns while she's still young and wises up.
That's not going to happen.
Monday at school, she continued with the shaming language, demanding an apology or else. That's my favorite.
Or what?
Exactly. He responds with, or else what? We broke up on Saturday. There is no or else.
Good.
To which she stood baffled, confused, and silent. And then he follows it up with, just because you have a pussy doesn't mean you can treat me like shit.
Ah!
Fuck off.
Nice! Yeah! Hole in one right there.
Boom! This created 2 camps in the school. The girls that want to see him dead and the ones that want to bang him in spades. And the ones in the latter camp, those are the good women right there. They appreciate a man holding his frame.
Yep.
Even if he's not technically a man yet, he still smells like piss. And he's 15.
He's 15. I mean, he's old enough to send into war in some countries, but
yeah, not this one, thankfully. Although he's, already man enough to, go and request to have his junk lopped off.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing how that works?
That's insane.
I told him that I'm so proud of him for standing his ground and keeping his frame. If that was me when I was his age, I would have fallen for the shame and I would have ended up doing everything the girls wanted me to do so I could be a good man.
Yeah.
Yep. A lot of good lessons in both of these stories.
Yes. Oh, my God, that was great.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Iron Riddle. We bow to your wisdom.
Yeah. And if you guys have any more stories like this, send them in. We'll do a show on them.
Yeah, we want to know what happened to you guys. Tell us. You don't have to leave your full name. Like it was this guy here. We know his name, but he goes by Iron Riddle. We protect your identity if you don't want it out there. Like what was the, I forget, Chief Kickabich's new... No, hey, would you blow me? That's what it is. Yeah. His new email, he just said, well, I don't want to get doxxed, and I'm sending this. Oh, yeah, I'm just going to send him this one. Like, oh, hey, would you? Nice. You guys are awesome, even when you come up with screen names that are just disgusting only because you want me to say them.
It's pretty funny.
It is pretty funny. That's why I roll with it.
Yeah.
I can appreciate a good burn as much as...
And we're trying to, pound wisdom into your heads with a little bit of comedy because that's pretty much the only way it sticks in most of the young men's heads.
Yeah. And, don't get me wrong. A lot of these stories, we laugh, we jest, we crack a lot of jokes. But at the end of the day, at the time when these things went down for a lot of these dudes whose stories that we've shared, they were serious business. A lot of this stuff can leave a man in shambles for a little while.
Well, yeah.
But it's important to know that you can come out on the other side of it and learn to laugh at it. Because once you can do that, you can do anything.
Yes, you can.
All right. Any last thoughts?
No, that's it. I mean, you handled it. That was well said.
Oh, thank you, sir. All right. We'll see you guys next time. In the meantime, I don't know. If you feel like sending us a donation on Give, Send, Bro, Locals, or Subscribestar, it helps keep us independent from the big tech overlords. And when we inevitably get kicked off of YouTube, you'll know where to find us.
Yep.
We'll see you next time.
All right.